We're going to come up now to talk about some mental health issues here in Bradford and actually around the country. I hadn't realised that 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health issue in 2023, and talking about it should not be a taboo. And Mind in Bradford will be at the Broadway Shopping Centre to raise awareness and talk to the local community about mental health support, and that's happening this Thursday. But enough about me prattling on here. Here's Phil Woodward. Welcome, Phil. He's just come into the studio here to talk about Time to Talk Day. So tell us all about it, Phil. Come on, what's happening on Thursday?
So Time to Talk Day is a national incentive by Mind, and what we're trying to do is encourage organisations to get involved, to take some time out of the day, whether that would be half an hour, for example, for staff to just stop what they're doing, get a cup of tea, cup of coffee, sit down and have a chat and be able to talk about mental health.
Yeah, so this just doesn't apply to people going to a shopping centre. This is a thing that should be happening all over, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to try and raise that awareness, that's where we're going to be based at Broadway Shopping Centre from 10 till 4.
Yeah.
But as I say, we are reaching out to other organisations as well.
Sure.
And asking them to do something similar.
So what's the sort of dimension of the problem here in Bradford, do you think, Phil?
So last year we supported over 3,000 people. We have young people's service, which is sort of age 7, 8 upwards. Our oldest person would probably be about 85. Wow. So we've got issues around anxiety, depression, self-harm, suicide.
Yeah.
Various support services, like crisis support as well.
And I guess there'll be quite a lot of mental health that will be underground, that won't be seen. You know, people will be suffering probably by themselves, maybe.
Yeah, I think more so with men. I think we found when you look at suicide rates in Bradford and men sort of 35 to 50 still not talking about mental health. When you look at the people who have taken their own life, they're not known to services, so they're not usually getting any mental health support as such. Yeah,
so it's a really serious problem. Yeah. And where are people getting help from, apart from needing to talk with people and to interact with other people? I mean, are things breaking down in the overall, NHS system and so on?
I think most people's sort of first port of call is usually to go to the GP.
Yeah.
GPs often refer to first response, but first response is supposed to be for crisis support.
Yeah.
So they get a lot of calls that are not crisis. They're then putting some calls through to us. So we have a service called Guideline, which is telephone and live chat support.
Yeah.
That's for anyone of any age. So we can support the Cellar Trust, which is a local service in Shipley that provides support. You've got My Wellbeing College that do a lot of sort of CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy.
Yeah.
And we all sort of link in with the NHS.
Yeah.
So your more sort of mental health assessments as such would be done through Linfield Mount, through the community mental health team.
Sure.
But it's about everyone working together.
And just tell us about Mind in Bradford. I mean, you work for Mind, I know that, but I mean, what sort of numbers of people are you dealing with in our community here?
So we over 3,000 people last year in total. Yeah. Guideline, for example, one of the service I manage, we had 8,299 calls and live chats that came through last year.
Goodness me.
So we're taking them now. We've just extended our hours, so we're open from 8 in the morning now, so 16 hours a day.
And of course,
until midnight.
You're a big charity. Have you got a big team here in Bradford, or what? So
I started 4 years ago. I think we had about 24, 25 staff. And then since then it's expanded with various different services that we've added. We've got about 83, 84 staff now, something like that.
What brought you into this field of work, Phil? Personally?
Yeah, so I'd worked in substance misuse previously. And then fancied a change. I'd done that for 10 years.
Yeah.
And there were jobs going at Mind, so I applied for Mind and been there 4 years. Like I said, there's the guideline, but there's the wellbeing, so like the groups and activities and short courses that we do for people. You can see a real difference in people as well, especially when they've been through something like a 12-week course.
Sure. Yeah. Goodness gracious. So obviously it's very involving work, not just normal hours, I would imagine.
Yeah, we're trying to offer stuff on a weekend. So like this weekend, for example, we've started up a self-defence class. So it's going to be run through Fusion Martial Arts Centre.
Right.
So it's all part of the wellbeing offer.
Yeah.
So that's something that we've paid for those sessions.
So people getting into physical activity makes a difference to their mental health.
Yeah. So we run 2 walk and talks through the week through the wellbeing service at Lister Park.
And That's as it says on the tin,
Yeah,
is it?
it is,
It's walking and talking.
Yeah, no, it's probably the other way around more so. It's like
Talking and walking.
Yeah. The different setting with it being out in nature as such, that
Yeah.
people will have a chat with their peers, they'll have a chat with staff, and it's that non-clinical setting, so you're not sort of sat down and kind of forced to open up about anything.
Yeah. And the other thing about a walk, I've noticed this myself, if you're talking about really important things, which may be a bit tricky, when you're walking in a direction, it's that you're not necessarily facing the other person.
Yeah, you don't have to make that eye contact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The eye contact may not be as important. Anyway, that's really, really interesting. And people can drop into into the centre on Thursday, and you'll have people there to talk with those in need.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, so we'll have sort of information and flyers. So it's encouraging people to talk about their mental health, but also if people need to find out where they can get support, either for themselves, for their loved ones, for example, they can come and speak to us, and we can signpost and give people that information that they need as well.
So it sounds like a sort of combination of things, either from just a nice chat over a cup of tea to getting some serious help or being signposted towards that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. And how many people will you have there actually in support of the whole thing?
Staff at
I
Broadway. I think there'll be about 6 or 8 people usually.
And volunteers as well?
Yeah, volunteers as well.
Yeah, very good. Well, look, well done for that. It sounds really important work. And if people want to just check on it after this interview, is it on the website anywhere?
Yeah,
or?
so go to Mind in Bradford. The website's there, all the information's on there.
Right.
There are some resources that people can download.
So, Mind in Bradford, and it's on Thursday at the Broadway Shopping Centre. Everybody knows where that is, I hope.
Yep.
And they'll find it easily, will they?
Yeah.
Okay. Great stuff. There isn't a particular place in Broadway?
It's usually on the corner, usually where Superdry is. They usually give us a space there.
Great stuff.